Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the American Tier 10 Premium Medium tank, the M60. Now obviously this is a tank that I featured on the channel a couple of days ago, but I thought I'd feature it again, and that's because today, the day this video comes out, is the 70th? Yeah, this is the 70th day of the op where you could earn this tank. Now, if you don't know what the op was, or you have no idea, or you're watching this in the future thinking, there was an op for this? Yeah, there was an op where if you played 3 games in this game, and did it for 70 days, you could get an M60. You could also get a Falcon T... it might have been a Falcon T92, or it could have been the unskinned T92 light tank. Or, well, and the IS-6. And you had 77 days to complete this and play 70 games. And I didn't, so well done to all of you people. I managed to get the IS-6 and I got the T92 LT and got the silver for them because I own both of those, same as I own the M60, clearly as you're seeing right here. And as always, by the way, this video, if you haven't guessed by the title, is the third mark video for the tank. But yeah, so I already own this tank, so I guess the motive wasn't there for me to do it every single day just to play 3 games, because I already own it. The only thing I would have got from it is like 6 million silver, which would have been very nice, not going to lie. But at the same time, I didn't need it, and I didn't desperately want to keep playing constantly every single day. You know, you get those days where you're just not feeling it, right? And when you've got one of those ops on, it's kind of like, oh, I've got to play, you know, to get the M60 because I want it. But, you know, obviously I don't have that push, so I didn't do it. So that's why I thought I'd put this video out anyway, on this day, because you guys are going to be getting the M60 for free. And you might want to see again how it plays out, how it handles, and how it goes, basically. Now, the M60 is a tank that is fabulous, to be honest. I really enjoy this tank. It's very similar to the M48 pattern, but it trades the armour and a bit more of the durability that the M48 pattern has, as well as a bit of the DPM, for the mobility and just generally better gun handling. Now, the M48 pattern has really good gun handling, right? And obviously, we are talking about 6.0 gun handling too, let's be fair. But the M48 pattern has like 0.36 accuracy. This has 0.33 base. And I think the aim time's the same. But also the thing about the M60 as well is it's got very similar dispersion on the move. So it is just like the M48 pattern in the fact that it's a snapshot god, in the fact that the M48 pattern could just drive and fire on the move and hit more often than it probably could stationary at times, and that was pre 6.0. Post 6.0 is even better for that, right? But the M60 can do exactly the same thing, and it's honestly a beautiful thing because you can just pixel snipe people so easily at times. Now, we actually get blind fired there. We're not spotted, but something just hit us blind. I don't know if something spotted behind us, and we kind of got fortunate there that we ended up bouncing it, because the M60 doesn't have any armour. That is one thing. The armour on this tank is terrible. It does have that boat-shaped hull, like the M48 A5 pattern, which means that you can side-scrape a little bit here and there, and you can bounce things, but just don't really rely on it. Don't really try it. It's not like the M48 pattern, which can do all those things quite reliably. In terms of equipment that I run on the M60, I run rammer, optics, and vents, because buff everything as high as you can with vents. View range as much as possible, get as high as you can, because that's really helpful to have. And rammer obviously make the DPM better. I don't run vert stabs because this gun is just so good already. You don't need it. You generally don't need that extra 20% to your accuracy, because your crew skills that you'll have make this tank fantastic. So I run on this Born Leader, Rapid Loading, Sixth Sense, Trap Mechanic, Situational Awareness, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, and the last skill is completely up to you, really, to be honest. Obviously, I mean, crew skills are generally. And by the way, this play was the only way we were going to break the flank, basically. I just thought I'd go into that. That play I just did there was reckless, but at the same time, it was also what we needed to do. I've just seen it. It's a key vital point to this game, and it sort of changes this flank. Because there was a 50 TP that you've seen in front of us. There was a UDES that was hull down. We were never penning that UDES. And we really had to get past him so that we could actually get shots at this 50 TP and then be able to finish off the UDES, for example. So I take a hit from the 50 TP to be able to basically shut him down, and then I'm going to come over and kill this UDES, hopefully. But that play there is what I had to do to win that flank for us in this game, because otherwise we were just going to get stuck and keep trying to shoot a UDES 15-16 that is really good hull down, and we just weren't going to have the opportunity to shoot. But anyway, yeah, crew skills, I mean, obviously crew skills are preferential anyway, because people might think, oh, I don't want that, or I do want that, you know, or this, you know, no, that's not very good for me. So, the final skill, I ran armor angling just to reduce the damage I took when I took hits, generally. But you could also run stuff like firefighting or fire prevention if you're on food like I am, just to help you along if you do get set on fire. Or you could run other things, like you could run camo, but the tank is fat. Generally, I'm definitely fat shaming this tank. It's a fat tank and it doesn't have much camo, so it's not always worth putting camo on it like that. But you could also put stuff like rapid aim on as well to make turret traverse better, or iron mace to make APCR better as well. But that game anyway, we finished with 5 kills, 7.3k damage, ace tanker and a high caliber. And it was a really nice game, it was a really nice run around, and that actually puts us on 94.06. And in between this game and the next game, I had another game where I did, I think it was 6.5 to 7k combined. I think it was something like 4k damage, 4.5k damage and a bit of assisted, and that pushed me up to about 94.7. And then we had this game on Vineyards that we're about to see. But yeah, generally that final slot is something that on the M60, because you're not going to be taking camo in it, it's down to you really whether you want to take there's a multitude of other little perks that you could take to make the tank better. Stuff like you could even take gunsmith, you know, because if you're going hull down in this thing, it doesn't have any turret armor. If you get shot through the front of the turret, the gun might get broken, therefore you can run gunsmith, make your gun 30% more accurate when it's damaged, you know. Like I say, I'm mace because this thing has APCR as standard, so you can make it so it doesn't lose as much pen over the distance. You know, or you could try and buff the mobility. Well, I say buff the mobility a little bit more. You could try and help the mobility a little bit more by, you know, having off-road driving or clutch braking, you know. There's a lot of different choices that you could have for that final slot. It's down to your preference at the end of the day. And, yeah, that's all I can say, really, for the skills. But I ran armor angling purely just for the meme and trying to reduce what damage I was having into me, basically, you know. So, this is a game on Vineyards that we got the better spawns, basically. And by better spawns, I mean the spawns which means that the teams generally use the rest of the map. Because if you've seen some of my other videos where we're playing on Vineyards, we end up getting the spawns that end up at H1G1 and, you know, HG0, where basically everyone just camps along the JK, and the rest of this map, it just becomes a camp fest, and who can push more aggressively and just spot their whole team up, you know. And it's not that fun, to be honest, with Vineyards. It just destroys the map. That's how spawns can destroy a map, to me personally. These spawns are better because the whole map becomes accessible, and well, I say accessible, I mean the map's accessible anyway with the other spawns. It's more likely the teams actually play the map a bit better or a bit more generally, and that's a nice thing. So I've taken a position up here at A6 to basically keep getting shots at these guys in this northern area. I take a chance that FE 4005 wasn't going to snapshot me. I get a nice shot into his turret, and then this Conqueror comes over. So we try and track him, because we do actually have friends. Look at the CD3. We've got people there, and if he comes up on this ridgeline and they're actually looking at it this way, if I track him in that position, I could get a decent amount of assisted. So we actually track him in place, get the pen as well, which is nice, and look, there we go. That's the assistance I'm on about. We ended up getting a good 2k assistance in one go, because we got a bit here and there anyway, but then loads on that Conqueror, and that's exactly what we want in a third mark grind. Because for this mark, we needed about 5k to get a decent amount of movement, and by decent I mean like 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, something like that anyway. And if you look at what we've got 5k combined. Some of it's spotting, most of it's tracking, so we don't know quite, we don't quite know at the minute anyway. So we need to push this game as hard as we can to get as much as we can. They've still got 7 tanks left. We've got a gorilla in front of us that I really, really, really want to farm. They've got that Progetto 65 at the back, which I'm not going to say no to getting a free shot into. Because at the minute I'm safe from the gorilla, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some shots into this Progetto while I can, and then we're going to go for the gorilla. So now that gorilla's popping out, it's like, well, let's put a shot into him. Because I don't want to take a hit here for 750. It's just not what we want to do. So we get rid of him. And we're going to move forward to see if we can get some shots at this T30. Unfortunately, we end up missing that shot on the T30. We're up to nearly 6k combined here, so this is kind of what we need for the third mark. And I'm probably looking at this game right now at 94.7 odd, thinking, I might have it. I might have it. We need to just keep pushing. Because obviously, like I say, sometimes that assistance that gets split can hurt you. And we're getting some nice free shots here at these guys as they're going. We get a shot down into the 50B. The light tank gets shut down in front of us, unfortunately. There's now just the Chieftain Mark 6, which is unfortunately hidden from us. He's behind the hill on the K-line, which means we're not going to get another shot at him, which I was kind of disappointed at. But then I was looking at it going, well, I've just done 7.3k combined. That should be enough. And we get the epic victory. We get 5 kills. 5.1k damage, 2.4k assist, first class, and it was 94.06. Look, we just crossed over the line. And like I say, sometimes you just don't know whether you've got it or not. And we finished with 1566 base XP as well. A really nice game for the M60, which is a very, very, very nice tank. It's pretty damn enjoyable. The mobility is great, the gun's fantastic. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
A great success!